Viewers, welcome back to this special program of Noor TV. We have now arrived at the moment which you have been waiting for, and people living in more than 170 countries have also been waiting to hear the condemnation statement. So I think it's important that we read out the condemnation statement. The following condemnation statement has been issued by the Jamaat-e-Ahl Sunnat UK, the Muhyiddin Trust, Faizan-e-Islam and British Muslim Alliance in response to the brutal murder of drummer Lee Rigby near the Woolwich Barracks on Wednesday, 22nd May 2013. I now kindly request Deputy Crime Commissioner Yvonne Mosquito to read out the condemnation statement.
Thank you. On behalf of the group that you've just mentioned, we unreservedly condemn the barbaric murder that took place in Woolwich on the 23rd of May 2013. This and other such criminal acts have no justification and basis in Islam. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family and colleagues of the victim, the wider armed forces and the rest of the country. Muslims have served and continue to serve the British Armed Forces with great honour and dignity. We respect the incredible sacrifices made by our armed forces to protect the rule of law, democracy and freedom. This murder will indeed test our tolerance and will require us to stand united together. The condemnation statements made by leading politicians, worldwide leaders and faith leaders have helped people of all backgrounds to stand shoulder to shoulder against these terrorists. We pledge our full support and cooperation to the authorities dealing with this case. We pledge to assist the police and other authorities in maintaining calm and law and order in our neighbourhoods. Our message to the communities and our Muslim brothers and sisters is that at times like this, we all have a duty to come together in solidarity and ensure that the forces of hatred do not divide us.
Thank you, Yvonne. Viewers, I'm sure you will agree that that is a powerful message delivered on behalf of the organisations mentioned. We hope that you will take note of this very important and strong message. You will then cascade this message to your networks, to your partnerships, to your communities, not just within the Muslim community, but also our non-Muslim brothers and sisters. You will also seek to portray and deliver this message as much as possible. We will endeavour to deliver this message to the press and also the gatherings which take place across the country. This message will be repeatedly given at those gatherings. Yvonne, you've taken the honour of reading this statement out. How do you feel that the impact of such statements, why are they so important? Because it's not the first time these condemnation statements have been issued. When 9/11 took place, the Muslim community was at the forefront in issuing these condemnation statements. When 7/7 took place, when the Glasgow bombings took place, all these condemnation statements took place. What's the value? Why are they so important?
I cannot express more eloquently than the Sheikh did earlier about the reasons why we have to differentiate between acts of terrorism and criminality and an act of goodness and kindness. The Islamic faith is not about terrorism. It's not about evil. It is about good. It is about loving each other as brothers and sisters. It's about valuing the sanctity of human life. We need to provide clarity to those who go out and use faith and religion as the reasons why they're doing certain things. And I think this statement has provided clarity. So we are all clear that the acts of these individuals have got nothing to do with Islam.
Thank you. Thank you, Yvonne. We are joined by Lord Qurban Hussain from Luton, and it's a very timely call by the Lord Qurban Hussain. after this statement has been read. Lord Qurban Hussain, can I welcome you to this special program of Noor TV?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm pleased to be taken live on this show.
What would be your key message today, Lord Qurban Hussain, after hearing the statement which the organizations have issued, which has been broadcasted now in more than 170 countries of the world?
Well, my view is, first of all, that I condemn the actions of these two men in Woolwich, in which a soldier was killed in a brutal way. I condemn that in the strongest possible word. Those criminals, they are criminals, and the criminals don't have a faith or religion, and they need to be condemned. We are living in a multicultural society which is exemplary in our race relation throughout the world. And a lot of people, hundreds of people, or even thousands, have worked very hard to make these race relations as good as they are, and we all enjoy them and we are proud of them. And we, as much as the Muslim community is enjoying these civil rights, equal rights in this country as everybody, other British, we are as British as everybody else. And we have responsibilities as any other British has. And we all have a responsibility to condemn anybody who takes law in their own hands, and particularly terrorism, that we all communities condemn. And in this particular case, let me say that there have been times in British history, recent history, whereby people from one particular section of the communities have done something wrong, and there was a danger that some communities might get lumbered with, identified with that. And let me give you an example. For example, during mid-80s, when the IRA was bombing Britain, and certainly there were bombs exploded in Birmingham City too, there was a real danger that perhaps Irish community in this country will be targeted. And I think the British nation has a challenge then, and not to allow that to happen. And we have to do that here as well. A couple of individuals who claim they were Muslims, their actions certainly don't approve of that. No Muslim organization in UK has approved that, and neither they will and neither they should. And let us make sure, once again, that this does not mean that the Muslim community, who is peaceful community, who condemn these actions, the violent actions, should be blamed for the actions of these individuals. And I am sure that the whole British society, including Muslim, Christians, and people of all faiths and none, are together in this, and we will not allow few individuals to damage the race relations that this country has enjoyed over the years, and the whole nation is together, and we will fight these extremists together.
Lord Qurban, can I pose a question to you? Are you satisfied at the response which the Muslim community has given by joining hands with faith communities and other sections of our civil society?
I am certainly satisfied with the response from the responsible people from the Muslim community. I have to say that Anjem Chowdhury and his lot and the Al-Majroon group, they do not represent Muslims. I was very cross that Anjem Chowdhury was given airtime on British television to represent Muslims. He does not represent Muslims, nor does he Al-Majroon, and nor does these few individuals. They don't represent anybody else but themselves. But the large Muslim community has come in a united voice in condemning these actions, and I am satisfied with that.
Thank you. That is one of the clear reasons why the Sheikh Bir Alauddin Siddiqui and the Jamaat-e-Ahl Sunnat and the other organizations I mentioned took this bold step, Lord Qurban Hussain, of bringing the mainstream voice, the mainstream Muslim voice out in the public domain. And this program has been designed to actually do that. So thank you so much.
Can I just add?
Please do, please do.
One, I think the Ahl Sunnat al Jamaat needs to make very clear or give a very clear message that Al-Majroon in many of their leaflets are using Ahl Sunnat al Jamaat name for their organization, and this should be made very clear, because I certainly believe that I am part of Ahl Sunnat al Jamaat, and I don't think they have anything to do with Ahl Sunnat al Jamaat, and Ahl Sunnat al Jamaat UK must clarify this to the media and to the rest of the people that the Al-Majroon do not represent Ahl Sunnat al Jamaat.
It's a very, thank you so much, Lord Qurban Hussain, for joining us. It's a very important point that you've made, which also begs another question, which I'll ask the Sheikh Rabbani Afghani, as it does require some analysis, analytical analysis. These two individuals were converts. When somebody is converted, they don't leave them at that. Work is done on these individuals, what I would term as ideological programming. They are programmed in a certain way, to think in a certain way. Now, how can the government actually tackle that ideological programming which takes place, which leads them onto the path of radicalization and how they see the world? For example, I think one thing we need to make clear, that these individuals who engage in acts of this barbaric terrorism, they don't just hate non-Muslims. If you talk to them, they are full of hatred towards Muslims as well. So
actually, we have to make it
now, before you answer that, I understand that Lord Qurban Hussain is still on the line and he wants to answer that question. Lord Qurban Hussain, are you still on the line?
I am. I was interrupted and I haven't quite got the full
Please
question.
feel free.
I haven't quite got the full question because I was interrupted in the way and the line was cut off.
Okay, apologies for that.
If you can repeat the question, I'll answer that.
Right. The question is the ideological programming which takes place to the converts. How can the government be effective in identifying that ideological programming and ensuring that these individuals are not radicalized during the conversion process? Because at that point, I believe the distinction needs to be made, what you were referring to, on who belongs to which school of thought or which denomination.
I don't think that it is in the hands of government as such. When people decide to take or change their religion or convert to from one religion to another, but I think it is more responsibility of the individual faith groups and leaders to make sure that those who are seeking knowledge in particular religion, for example, if people want to learn more about Islam, the mainstream Islamic organizations should be able to offer that help and support rather than allowing these backstreet organizations such as Al-Majroon to go and influence people and give their distorted version of Islam and convert people into their own narrowly thinking and twisted ideology. And this is more of a responsibility of the religious scholars and religious organizations rather than the government.
Thank you so much, Lord Qurban Hussain. As you've said, it is a responsibility for the scholars. So let me now come back to a scholar and pose the same question again.
Actually, it is a very important question. And I said earlier that these elements in the society, they are not only against, again, non-Muslim and in a favor of killing non-Muslim, but at the same time their ideology, whoever is not agree with their agenda, he is entitled to be killed, whether he is a Muslim or he is a non-Muslim. And it is not only word. I can give you the statistic of Pakistan only, just only Pakistan, one country. Since 2001 till 2013 in Pakistan, with these extremists and with these extreme ideology people, they have killed 35,000 Muslims. And according to a statistic, that $67 billion lost to the country come because of these extreme elements in the country. So could you imagine, when they are fighting in the street of London, you can say they are against non-Muslim, but when they are killing people in the mosque in Pakistan, right from Karachi to Peshawar, if you look at the statistics, no mosque was saved. The suicide bombing and killing happened in mosques, in shrines, in streets, in houses, everywhere. Elderly people, male, female, even children in school have been killed by these people. These criminals, they are not making a difference. There is no difference for them whether someone is Muslim or non-Muslim. And the statistic of only one country is enough to prove that these kind of criminals are against everyone who is not according to their ideology.
Thank you, Sheikh.
And the one thing, the final thing before going to break, according to some statistic, because of these criminals, 8 times more Muslim killed than non-Muslim.
Indeed.
So this is the statistic, the very open statistic, that these people killed till now Muslim more in number than non-Muslim, just because these people don't follow their ideology.
Thank you so much indeed. Viewers, we will now take a break. Please join us after the break, when we will be joined by more guests over the telephone line, and we will continue our discussions. Please join us after the break.